Oh, yeah, we are live. Good evening, guys. Good evening. Oh, man, many alerts coming in. Let me share this on Facebook. But most of our guys are there. Let me share this. Take a moment, I share this on Facebook. Oh, no. Yeah, who do we have here? I can't see you people. Just. Oh, what's the notification doing? Guys, comment so I can know you're here. Good evening, welcome. Thanks, the early birds, for keeping up with time. We have 2 minutes left, so let me just use this opportunity. Hold on, guys. Let me just use this opportunity and invite our people. Hold on. Chidera Akabu, please, guys, don't be angry because of the music, for lack of music. They will give me a community strike if I play any song here. So that's why I'm just, Ellen Lucas. Welcome, guy. Chidera Akabu. How are you, Chidera? From Atlanta, Georgia. Wow. How is Georgia? Welcome, brothers and sisters. Please let me share this on social media with friends and family. Yeah. Let me share with friends and family, please. Share across social media. Please. On all of them social media platforms. Share it there. We just have to do this one. Some of our brothers and sisters don't use Facebook anymore. A lot of them have their accounts blocked. Till now, they still can't allow most of our people to be on Facebook anymore. A lot of them is because of people reporting them like there is no tomorrow. Then the other ones are just because of what do you call it? Hold on. I'm coming, guys. I'm inviting my friends. 1 minute, 1 moment, please. Give me a small time to do this one. Welcome, guys. Yeah, it's the top of the hour right now. So I think we'll be beginning. Hold on, guys. 1 moment. Just give me a minute there. Give me a minute to share this, please. 1 moment, guys. Hold on. Jolly children, yeah. Jolly. Guys, maybe one of these days I'll just do my own song. I will go and record my own song. Believe me, I will go record my own song to tell these fools that they don't know what they are doing. Or with their nonsense, rubbish they call songs. Garbage. Mbatam song. Thank you. Ciao. So, guys, let's begin while we wait for the other people. The Chinese virus. This is a China virus. They created this. As some of the people I respect, when they just out of anger, hatred for Donald Trump, they will not even give the man credit when he's right. I'm sorry, I just want to I think he's better now. think the lighting is better now. They will not even want to give the guy credit, even when he is fighting against the same people that are keeping you and I enslaved. The same people, please don't mistake this for an endorsement for Donald Trump. I like the guy. I have many things against him, but see, this one is not one of it. At least I love his courage. The last people to stand against, the last person as the US president to stand against these people was JFK, John F. Kennedy. And we know how it ended for him. Yet, many people don't know history. They don't understand anything. See, you cannot understand contemporary politics without first understanding the historical background. If you don't educate yourself, your enemy will end up making you fight the person that is for you. Just watch this with an open mind. Then you tell me which side you are supposed to be on. Agreeing with Donald Trump on something does not make you a Trump supporter. And that Donald Trump is going against the black head of the World Health Organization does not make him a racist. No, he is not criticizing the man for his skin color. He is criticizing him for the policies he is pushing, which is just the same thing the Chinese Communist Party want. I will show you an article. We'll read an article together. It's going to be a deep dive. It's going to be a deep dive. That is how you know that, not that China is controlling the world. No, the people who control everything. Now, let me tell you what they control. They control your currency, the currency you use. As long as your country has a central bank, you are there. Then when you go deep into that central bank, your money must be tied to the US dollars if you have a central bank. That is what the central banking system is. The center that controls every damn thing. That is what it means. Central power means center control coming from the center instead of people, individual countries enacting their own monetary and financial policies. You must do that which they want you to do, and they will not allow another system thrive. Why? If another system comes in, it will rival that one, and it will show this one to be fundamentally flawed. That's why they don't want another system. Go and check the whole countries they're having problem with. Every country America is sanctioning right now don't have a central bank. Yes, they don't use the central banking system. Venezuela, Iran, Russia, North Korea. Before Libya, then they killed Gaddafi and put the Libyan people back on the central banking system. Go and check what's happening in Libya now. They used to pay they don't used to pay for electricity. Utility bills don't exist in Libya before. Go now is existing. Libya even now have a shortage of cooking gas. You remember the water system Gaddafi built that brought water from the desert to people's homes in Libya. Homes which he used the Libyan oil money to build. Resources, gold and everything. Then when they were fighting Gaddafi, why were they destroying those water irrigation system? That cost him, I think it was a $5 million or $5 billion then to build. Now you cannot build that thing with 70 billion. Now where do they have the money? How is it tied to what you are discussing? It is because the same people who are controlling those things are the same people who made China rich. They are the same people who are controlling everything happening in China. 90% of America's antibiotics are manufactured in China. Guess what? Where the countries that manufacture those things there are headquartered? In the USA. Now check. I will come to that exchange manipulation later. But what I want to bring is this. the corporations of America, they know that China is now strong enough to bring their own system, and they will lose. Militarily, America cannot take down China. No, nobody can take down China militarily. And if they want, they can't put sanction on China. Why? All the manufacturing that used to be in America has now been shifted to China. That's why everything you use is coming from China. Even those of you that are going to America to buy things, guess what? Those things, they manufacture them in China and ship them to America. Then you go to America to buy it. I don't want to go to China. I'm not buying all those Chinese things. Go and check the label on that American product you bought. That thing you bought in America, they will write made in China or product of USA. Or you will see Abercrombie, USA. Not made in the USA. So those corporations, you wonder why there is a wealth gap in America. You know what caused the wealth gap? Even in the whole European countries in the West. You know what caused the wealth gap? The people who are supposed to be working in factories, earning money. One, if you have such a job, of course, you will be well paid in the West. Go and check what the minimum wage is in the West. Now, an average minimum wage in the West is bigger than the average salary, not minimum salary in China. Are you getting it? So they are using China as their factory. That's where their manufacturing is. Then they went into China and saw how China is controlling their people with surveillance and everything. It's a communist system. It's a communist country. In practice, then economically, they have a free market economy. Meanwhile, within China, their people are controlled. The government is controlling everything. And those Western corporations, everything they own there, they own only 50%, and the Chinese Communist Party, the Chinese Communist Party of China own the other 50%. When you hear about Chinese executives, Chinese this banks, all these things, those are members of the top members of the Chinese Communist Party Public Bureau, the Central Committee. That's what they call it. You hear the name communism or socialism, you think that everything is being socialized. No, go and check it. The people at the top will always be benefiting, and that's the system they want to create in the West. They've planned all this surveillance nonsense a long time ago. Now they used the so-called war on terror to bring all those things, all those surveillance you're seeing. And most of the surveillance, these things people are saying, hey, they want to introduce this. No, they've been doing it. You just don't know it. Go and ask any hacker who've been arrested by the government before. Go and mingle with them. Talk with them. Go talk with them. Or those who are doing illegal businesses. Those people know about technology more than your professor in the university, because it's made for them. Wait, let me run down the distance, please. The light is too much. Yeah, I think it's better now. They are the Chicons. They learned it from them. I want to analyze the video by James Corbett. Please, this is Corbett Report. I want yours to go. Please, if you've not subscribed to this guy's YouTube channel, go subscribe to his YouTube channel. Let me show you his YouTube channel, so you can go later and watch it. Hold on. This is the YouTube channel, and this is the video I want to analyze. See it here. Stop calling it contact tracing. Do you know what this contact tracing means? It means surveillance. It means surveillance. They are just changing the words to fool those who are not awake, to fool those who don't know what they are doing, to fool those who don't understand the system. Please, you may not be able to see the video, but I'll play because of YouTube. I don't want them to give me a strike. They've already given me one. They've given me one already. But I will play the video. You will hear the audio. You'll be hearing the audio. You'll be hearing the audio. From time to time, I will come and show you a still photo. If I wasn't doing it live, I would have been playing the video, but then I'll have to remove my own frame. Because if it's playing and my frame is there, they will give me a strike. But with just the audio, they will not do anything. I want us to just watch this, just listen. I will be analyzing it one after the other, minute by minute. I'll be running, it's a 17-minute video. So I will run an analysis on this one. So you will understand how they are controlling you. Control the words. This is what communists and Marxists are good at. For those of you that are supporting Marxism, socialism, you want to know how socialism works, it's this way. You give all the power to the government without knowing it. And those of you in the USA, you are calling white people racist for resisting socialism. Are you kidding me? They are selling it to you in the name of diversity. It's bullshit. If you are voting for any liberal party in the West, you are not informed. You are dumb. They are playing they are playing you guys for chumps. Go and check everything they are doing. Government control of everything. You cannot introduce it once. It is gradually. Department of this, department of that, department of this. Before you know what's happening, you find out that you will all have to go and take permission from a bureaucrat to do everything. We were calling Bernie Sanders a fraud. Since 2016, they were calling us names. Yeah, he can propose things, but when it comes to acting, he will do the other way, this thing. Why? That's what communists do. That's what socialists do. That's what Marxists do. They know how to play the propaganda war, and it starts with names. Go and check it. American war of imperialism turned into war on terror. No, it is war of terror. Have you seen how they co-opted that word and used it? Every time you're hearing war on terror, we think that Americans are fighting terrorists in Afghanistan. No, they are stealing the resources of those people. Remember, they used to call Niger Delta militants terrorists. They used to call Nelson Mandela a terrorist until he sold out. Go and check the people they used to call terrorists. It's name. Now they know the power in names and the power in stealing names first. Going ahead to tell people something. Then you will be seeing them as the people who came to help you. No. They know that the ear, whatever the ear hears first, will go a long way. If you hear something first from someone, and the person is telling you about, helping people, this, that, this, it will be difficult for you to cut deep and check whether this person is backing it with action. Forget what they say. Look at what they do. Now they've changed the name to contact tracing. That is surveillance. That is in China. The government is tracking every single citizen. They know everything you are doing. You think America is monitoring you with the satellites? No. Check the drones they are using to film things in your neighborhood. Every Chinese-made drone is sending every data collected by that drone back to China. The Americans are doing it too. Why do you think China is beating them in espionage? What all this espionage this thing? Because every machine that even the American military, before Donald Trump came into office, were using Chinese gadgets. Yes, Chinese made equipment. Now they complain that they are stealing their technology. No, you are giving it to them. And the people who own the US government, why do you think that the entire Democratic campaign, debate, is a clown show? The whole entire debate, not a single question about the Federal Reserve. If you hear where they talk something about the Federal Reserve, please let me know. Did they say a single thing about China and bringing jobs back to America? Now they are telling you an attack on China is racist, is xenophobia. No, it is not. Use what China is doing in your country, your own country. Stop looking at those media. They are there to fool the Westerners. Believe me, Westerners, white people, Europeans, they are the freest. By our own current standard, they are the freest people. Yes, they are the dumbest. Because their people know that if they can conquer the West, they will conquer everyone. Believe me, white people are the last people living free, no matter what it is. At least they are the people. America is the only place you have a strong gun law in the world, in the entire world. And go and check the people that are calling for the abolition of the US Second Amendment, which is right to bear arms, right to bear and keep arms. Go and check all the organizations fighting them. They are backed by George Soros. And George Soros is in touch with the Chinese. Bill Gates with the Chinese. Each and every one of them. If Americans weren't armed, don't you think that the police will be firing at them if they go out like the Chinese did? Do you know how many people the Chinese killed? In this lockdown, their own lockdown, I'm telling you, shot them dead. YouTube took down most of those videos. Go and check on Twitter. They wiped them out. Under the cover of a pandemic, they are bringing they are showing their hands because they've fallen. People now know them. People now know that they exist because things are happening. These vaccines you are hearing about, they are testing in many places. Do you think they are the only ones testing? The Chinese are testing vaccines in Africa too. They are giving Africans medical aids, untested vaccines. Not just the West. Now that's lockdown. What country did it first? The Chinese. And even American doctors are now coming out to say that this lockdown was not even needed. But under that lockdown, they passed a 4.2 trillion bank bailout. Not the people. 325 billion. They demanded 375 billion for the people. Nancy Pelosi held it down. But the banks, the one they gave to the banks, they passed it. John Massey, I think his name is Massey, right? John, but his last name is Massey. A Republican was the only person that threatened to stop it. Guess what? The entire party, the entire Republican establishment came hard on him. Do you think they would have done that thing if there was no lockdown? If they did, when without the lockdown, you will see protests that is far, far bigger than the Occupy Wall Street. And it will be better than Occupy Wall Street. Why? People later found out that even the people that were leading the Occupy Wall Street were all agents planted because it's a left. It was being led by leftists. Look at what conservatives do when they want to. Look at the Tea Party. Look at the Tea Party. They stood Obama down and took the House from him and took the Senate. Because that is what genuine populism is. Show me a single left-wing-led populism in the world that didn't end up with massacring of people. Where do we start? The Chinese Great Leap Forward. You hear the Great Leap Forward. I was listening to one of our brothers saying the Great Leap Forward, this and that. I said, do you know how many people that died then? Over 80 million Chinese died, were killed. The Tiananmen Square massacre. The US media covered it up. Why? It happened after Nixon has opened China for business. Do you know it was up to like 15 years ago that people actually knew what happened in that square that day? The same people who covered it up then are the same people covering up what China is doing now. They are the same people benefiting from China, who their manufacturing base is in China. Now see the dilemma they are in. They have no other option than to move their jobs back to America and the West. But guess what? It will be expensive. That way, they must devalue the dollar and the euro if they are to compete. Now, if they devalue the dollar and the euro in Nigeria, don't you think cost of living will come down? This scarcity of dollar you are asking, how much is American government owing? 23 trillion now plus 4.2, it is going to be 27 trillion. Now let's see if they will bring jobs back. That way they will cut down their debt, the external debt. Now you see they have their own people here. Most of them don't know it. CNN is operating in China. They will never tell the truth about the Chinese government. If they did, they will kick them out. China has over 2 billion population. Now they don't want to lose the market. That's why they are bringing you this Chinese style system. Go to Nigeria and see. People being locked up in their homes. Over what? Was it necessary? Was it? Let me play this thing here. Okay, let me see if I can share the screen. Let me share the screen and see if you can hear my voice. Hear the voice. If you did, then we'll play it that way. If not, we'll just go and play only the audio. Okay, wait. Okay, I think it will be able to play now. Wow. Please tell me if you're hearing it. Tell me if you can hear it.
Welcome back, friends. Welcome back to the Corbett Report. I am James Corbett of CorbettReport.com with another edition of Propaganda Watch. Stop me if you've heard this one at all in the past few weeks. Contact tracing. I'm willing to bet you have heard about contact tracing in the past few weeks. I'm also willing to bet it is a term that you have never heard before in your life prior to the last few weeks. Something to cogitate on, and I have a remarkably profound but remarkably simple observation about that coming up for you. But for those who have somehow managed to miss this term, contact tracing, and its definition, well, why take it from me? Let's take it from the Clinton Global Initiative.
One of the elements, key elements, in your plan to be able to reopen California, and I like...
Watch, this is Gavin Newsom. This is Gavin Newsom, the governor of California. This is Bill Clinton. Watch this emblem here. It is Clinton Global Initiative. Just watch them out themselves. Watch them out themselves. A lot of secret was reviewed in this time. Secrets were reviewed in this interview. Lots and lots of them. You understand? I timed that person out for 300 seconds. If the types nonsense, I will ban him from the channel immediately. Don't mind the idiot. You don't like how your father look. Go to hell, bastard. Fuck off here, Christina Ferreira. I don't know who you are. Just fuck off from here. I don't need you here. You think I came here to look for viewers? Fuck off, bastard.
I liked it, by the way, because you didn't overpromise. You didn't promise you could do things you couldn't, and you made it clear that unless you could do it without more people getting sick and dying, it couldn't be done. But one of the things that you have to be able to do is to track people who are positive. Where were they? Who were they in contact with? How can you hem up any recurrence of this? Massachusetts has recently announced that they're going to try to build a statewide tracking program, and they've asked Partners in Health to run it for them. And they're one of my partners in the work we've done in Africa, Haiti, and other places.
Are you hearing it? The work they did in Africa, Haiti, and other. Now, let me tell you what these people did in Haiti. You remember the earthquake that happened in Haiti then? Clinton Global Initiative and the Clinton Foundation took in donations of over 6 billion. I think the actual figure was upwards of 10 billion US dollars. 10 billion US dollars. Do you know how many homes they built in Haiti? 6. 6. Do you know what else they were rolling out of Haiti? Human trafficking, stealing children. Somebody that works for the Clinton Foundation was caught taking children out of Haiti without documentation. They've been taking many. So many Haitians have gotten lost. Children. You see all these nonsense adoptions. That you see these black kids. They will say they adopt them. Now you watch them putting your black boys in dresses. Where do they get those people from? They adopted them from this. Who are their real parents? You are the adoptive parents, right? Who are the parents? They will tell you that they are going to orphanages. How many orphanages do you know in your place that is openly telling people that these people are coming to adopt in our place? You see those orphanages, they are, most of them, 95% of them, and those what do you call them? Motherless babies homes. 98% of them are just human trafficking centers. Shamelessly, he is saying what they did in Haiti, thinking that we don't know the real truth of what happened in Haiti. Again, watch the title of this thing, hashtag propaganda watch. What you are watching on TV is not news, it is propaganda. It is propaganda. And you will see how James Corbett analyzed it. Go and I will pull up what they did in Haiti and show you guys. You will see it. You will see what these guys did in Haiti. And all those funds, people are saying, hey, they contributed money. No, they were not taking those money for the Haitians. The Saudis get that much. Go and check all the people that donated for that Haiti, this thing. All of them got access to Hillary Clinton as the US Secretary of State. Just like every other organization in the West that is telling you, we are going to collect money to help children in Africa. Please, my fellow Africans, how many projects we are completed in your place that is courtesy of all these people that are taking money from Africa? They will just go to Africa and go to poor areas, make videos, take photos, and in every Western country, go and check it. Donate $1 to give a child water in Africa. $1 can give a child water, and you people are donating. Well, what is $1? What is $2? But by the time you check millions of people that are donating there, then those people, they will still come and use them as non-governmental organizations to go into many places. Now they will be spying for those people there too. So they don't out them. They'll be spying for the governments of their countries. So you don't out them. Except for a few Christian institutions. The Red Cross is a fraud. It's only a few Christian institutions and some private ones. Believe me, I hate religion. I'm not a Christian, used to be. Will never be again. Never. You can't pay me anything to be a Christian, and you can't threaten me with any hell or heaven. But I have to say the truth. Most of the organizations that are actually working for the people are Christian organizations, and not the ones owned by all these big pastors that own private jets. Telling people what about their jobs in Haiti. Now, when you don't know about what they did in Haiti, you go and type in Haiti. Go and check everything you'll be hearing about Haiti. It's just bad news, negative news. Then it will send a signal into your brain, oh, these poor people, and these people are helping them. That's why you look at this Slick Willie. That's his name, Slick Willie. Bill Clinton. You would think that he's actually helping people. I will show you what they did in Haiti. I will show you what they did in Haiti. And he is boldly lying to you, hoping that you don't understand what's going on, you don't realize what is going on. That's the system we live in. Let's continue.
But where are we going to get all these contact tracers? Should we have, like you did with California did with the Conservation Corps of young people? Should we have a contact tracer corps, even if we call it something more elegant? Should we really build the first public health network we've ever really built in this country around this issue?
I think the answer is absolutely yes. And
that question was planted. Gavin Newsom knows that it was coming. They plant all these things. Wait, they gave Hillary Clinton debate questions. In a presidential campaign against Donald Trump, they gave her a debate question. Before the debate, Donna Brazil, the DNC chair then she was working with CNN and gave her the debate question. And you think that this question was not planted? Are you seeing how they've planned all these things? Let me go back. Let me just rewind it a little. Now, pay attention to this question and see if it wasn't planted. Just watch again.
Core, even if we call it something more elegant, should we really build the first public health network we've ever really built in this country around this?
They are going to sell you the tracking device. They are going to openly do what they've been doing secretly in the name of a health issue. What business do you have with my health? You are going to track me? Like, seriously? For my health? How about you go do that to your family first? And you will not be asked before they do it. They just have to make sure that enough people don't know what they are going to do, and they will roll it out. Only a few people will do it. Now, if it's predominantly white people, they will tell you some white nationalists, some white supremacists, some white this. Imagine calling the people that are calling for an end of the shutdown neo-Nazis, because they are all whites. And that is a shame, a big shame to African Americans, blacks, Latinos, Koreans, and all these people. You see why the white people are the only people fighting? Now you know why their continent is the most developed. You look at those protests. Nobody wants that lockdown. Yet, when they are calling for a protest, you will not see black people step out there. Now, when it's just white people, go and check the camera. They will not show any person of color. That way, they will sell you that it's a neo-Nazi rally. And most of you are buying it. Most of you are buying it. When enough people don't know what's going, go and check YouTubers. All the black YouTubers are just there stirring emotions, repeating the same thing over and over again. Hey, white people, they say white privilege. Shut the fuck up. Shut the hell up. Go and check all of them. They are sounding like these modern day pop stars. You hear a song, you don't even know who owns it. Taylor Swift sound like this one. This one sounds like this one. When we're growing up, when you hear Aaliyah, it's Aaliyah. Brandy is Brandy. Tony Braxton is Tony Braxton. Where's the name of my girl? Oh, I'm forgetting her name. The one that married Bobby Brown. Or Mary J. Blige. That's the same thing they copy. Black YouTubers, the same thing they're doing, recycling the same thing over and over again without anything new being added. In Nigeria, the people are fighting against the lockdown. Go to Onitsha, see what happened to Onitsha, that made the governor within 24 hours reverse that nonsense. See, do you know why he did that thing? Whether he reversed it or not, the people were going to go out. Now, for him to take the glory, he has to say, okay, we are relaxing the law. No, nobody begged you to relax it. You should have left it and see if people will not go out. Send in your police, because it has dawned on them that, oh, so all these things these people have been saying before is true. Now they know what's going on. The governor had to back down, so it doesn't feel as if the people forced him to, or the people dared him. Are you seeing it? In Nigeria, people are kicking against the lockdown. Senegal, every country. Now, when it's happening in the USA, they will tell you that it's a neo-Nazi rally. Like, really? So only neo-Nazis want to open their businesses. What about the non-neo-Nazis? Now they say they will give you 1,200 every month. Do you know what that is? This is another social welfare prison 2.0. 1,200 dollars. Paper. Cost of food will be good. Inflation will kill people. At the end of the day, all the money they gave you, they will recoup it again. But by then, you would have lost your freedom and everything with it. Are you getting what's going on? It's a trap, it's a trick. Don't buy it.
I think the answer is absolutely yes. And I love the Massachusetts example. We were able to learn from them. We're all sharing best practices in real time. But this is an interesting point that's often not brought up. We have tracing capacity that predates COVID-19. It goes back to SARS.
What is tracing capacities? That is a spy system. What is tracing? Call it spying. You are tracing what? You are tracing who? As a robot? Now they will tell you that it's about SARS and all this. It's a lie. Every single text message, every single call, every single picture exchanged, everything video is databased and stored. In Utah, any call you are making to the USA or out of the USA to anywhere is being databased and stored in Utah. If you are living in the USA, please ask any private investigator that will tell you the truth. Yeah. Then if the person tells you that I'm a conspiracy theorist, please offer to put me on the call with the person and see how the idiot will run. That's how you know that they are liars. They are either lying or they don't know what they are saying. They have no idea what they are supporting or what they are pushing.
Measles, TB, etc., tracking and tracing capacity that exists in the county levels primarily, and increasing capacity at the state level. So what we're doing is we're building off that existing infrastructure and using the tools of technology to overlay. In addition to that, we're using AmeriCorps specifically. And thank you as a champion for AmeriCorps for decades. We've been able to take advantage.
Are you seeing the praise he's showering on him? It's a planted question. It's a choreographed interview. They are all actors. They are acting. Guys, please thumb up the video. I'm not seeing enough thumb ups here. Thumb up the video, please. It helps in the algorithm. And remember to share this video at the end of that. If you've not subscribed to my channel, please use this moment and subscribe. Hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. Are you getting what's going on? Are you understanding it?
Advantage of that workforce. Obviously, our conservation corps. What we have now is called Cal Volunteers. In the spirit of Sarge Shriver, we are asking people, thousands of folks, to be part of this new corps, to get trained and to help us with the tracing, because you're absolutely right. The predicate for getting back to some semblance of normalcy is our ability to identify individuals through testing, to be able to trace their contacts, to isolate individuals that have either been exposed, or quarantine people that are tested positive. And
now they're telling you for the individual that tested positive, why would you be tracking them? Now, when you track people that have CV, would you track the people that have HIV? How about the people that have cancer? Then if they did it, what about the people that have some fever? Now, what percentage of people do you think don't go to the hospital? Before you know what's going on, they will make it mandatory. Now, the government will have your database, everything. Do you know the people they will be targeting? The ones that are trouble. The people on the virtual no-fly list or no speech list. It's an excuse because there are many lawsuits, privacy lawsuits against the government. People are bringing in court. The media will not tell you that. Please use your phone and check it. That's where they will have a justification. So you come and bring your lawsuit. It's under the law. Now you know that every of your law was made by people who want to control you, not people who want to help you. Then who will be in charge of all these things now, please? The same people who will ban you on Facebook for saying the truth? The same people who will delete your account on the social media? These narcissistic Silicon Valley billionaires? Now you know what we mean by that power has changed. Even the military now rely on these IT experts. Everything from missiles to submarines and everything has gone electronic. At a time, they want to enter a full-scale cyber war. And cyber war includes AI, both military and civilian. At the same time, they want to control. Do you think that the Chinese got a world off like this from the top? The Chinese, they built a virtual world around their people, and people don't even know it. In the name of bringing civility and making everybody work the way they should, they started, when you jaywalk, this thing will record in your system. They will take some money from your account. Then they will give you a credit score. I don't support spitting in the street, but when you do it in China, your credit score keep going down. How did they know what you are doing at every point in time? It's like this, and this is what they want to bring to the USA. In the name of selling you freedom or selling you safety, they are stealing your freedom. No, leave me. I want to see. You see all this nonsense about war on terror? Fuck that shit. Let me have my own gun and protect myself. Don't worry about ISIS. Let me do the worrying myself. It's not your life, it's mine. Now, where are all these ISIS guys since this pandemic started? They want to take over the world, right? Now, why are they not using this opportunity that people are locked in their homes to go and do this, to show that all these things are just movies, manipulation, total BS?
And that's just going to require an army of folks and the capacity of consideration from individuals to allow for their privacy to be impacted by that kind of a.
For individuals to allow their privacy to be impacted, what do you mean by that? You mean for individuals to allow you to invade their privacy? I don't know if you are getting this. Are you understanding exactly what's going on? All these things were going on all the time. People were shouting 5G. No, this is what you should concern yourselves with. Never let a good crisis go to waste. That was Obama's former chief of staff, Rahm Emanuel, the former Jewish mayor of Chicago, a city that has been run by criminals for the past 150 years at least. At least, the very least. Do you know that the father of Hillary Clinton worked with the Chicago mob as one of the bosses? You wonder why Chicago is a solid blue state. But they will sell your black people racism nonsense and they will buy it. When you kick again, oh man, come on.
Acuity of attention based upon where they've been and who they talk to.
Oh, yes. Contact tracing. Is that what they're calling it now? Because it seems to me that this is the nightmare panopticon total surveillance grid that crazy conspiracy theorists have been warning about the creation of for decades now. But no.
Do you hear that? The same people they were calling conspiracy theories 20 years ago. Everything they said is now in the open, it's happening. People who said this 20 years ago, please help me tell this our useless people that call themselves woke nonsense. You are woke yet you watch CNN, watch MSNBC, watch NBC. Are you serious? Nigerians have started using that word, conspiracy theorist. Idiot. Go and check what they've been calling a conspiracy theory. All the things they've been calling conspiracy theories 25 years ago, they are now in full glare. It's happening. Now, the same fools who call those people conspiracy theories can't even think back what happened 1 year ago, let alone 20 years ago. To realize that actually, these people have been saying this forever. Let me go back, rewind a little more again. So you watch James Corbett. Please, I will not stop when James Corbett is talking because I want you to hear it directly.
Privacy to be impacted by that kind of acuity of attention based upon where they've been and who they talk to.
Oh, yes. Contact tracing. Is that what they're calling it now? Because it seems to me that this is the nightmare panopticon total surveillance grid that crazy conspiracy theorists have been warning about the creation of for decades now. But no, you silly conspiracy theorists, you were completely wrong. That never existed and you were crazy and paranoid for even caring about it. But, oh, here it is, and it's now called contact tracing. You see how this works. This leads to a remarkably profound and remarkably simple observation about propaganda. Propaganda is PR. All propaganda is, stripped down to its bare bones, is a marketing campaign designed to sell an otherwise unpalatable idea to the public. If it was palatable in its pure form, they wouldn't need a marketing campaign surrounding it. They wouldn't need to dress it up and call it something else and give it a fancy name and introduce it in some PR glitzy way. No, they would just state it openly and plainly. The fact that there is a marketing campaign that surrounds an idea shows you that it is propaganda of some sort, designed to make you accept an idea that you would otherwise be resistant to. And one of the simplest and most effective marketing techniques for unpalatable ideas is to simply name that idea something else and then present it in a context where it seems to be good. So that you can take something that literally for decades, for half a century at least, maybe more, go back to 1984. I mean, I know it's referenced every few minutes these days, but it's because it is wildly appropriate for the times that we are living in. People have understood for generations that the creation of a panopticon grid of total surveillance is an absolute nightmare. There is no other way to understand what the creation of such a grid of total surveillance other than as a nightmare scenario. Unless, of course, you're dealing with the event that changed the world as we know it, and the entire rules of civilization are going to have to be rewritten because of the dramatic events that have taken place in Pandemic 1, as Bill Gates has just rebranded. Is attempting to.
You know what? You see what Bill Gates rebranded it? Pandemic 1. Then, if this is Pandemic 1, does it mean that Pandemic 2 is coming? If Pandemic 2 is coming, where does it stop? Where does the number stop? They played their hands too far with this one. Don't worry, they will not survive. They will not succeed. As long as we don't sleep.
Essentially market the propaganda campaign around SARS-CoV-2. It's now Pandemic 1, which of course implies there's going to be a Pandemic 2, doesn't it? Makes you wonder what Bill Gates is up to, doesn't it? But at any rate, yes, there is a marketing campaign surrounding Pandemic 1, and one aspect of that is to rebrand the complete and total government surveillance of everything you do, everywhere you go, everyone you talk to, everything you purchase, and everything else to do with your actual physical meat space life. The total surveillance they're going to repackage as contact tracing, which again is a term that you've never heard before in your life, so you don't have any pre-associations or baggage around that term. It's not surveillance. It's not some sort of invasive thing. It's just contact tracing. Well, that sounds rather passive, doesn't it? And of course, it embeds with it a million pieces of very, very worrying data, doesn't it? So, yes, the Clinton Global Initiative is just one of many, many outlets that is trying to introduce this idea to the public discourse right now and framing the way that those words are being introduced to the public. So I would invite you, just as an experiment, just type the words contact tracing into a news search, any sort of search or news search that you tend to use. Just type those words in and read some of the many, many entries that are coming out right now, some of which are saying, well, lawmakers have some concerns about the ways that contact tracing could be used by the big tech companies because they might not respect your privacy. But of course, that's coming from the government saying, don't worry, guys, we're the good guys. We'll totally be trustworthy when it comes to tracking and tracing everything you go, everyone you meet. Don't worry, we can be relied on. It's just those big tech guys that aren't, I don't know about them. Well, of course, they're in the back pocket of government, and government's in their back pocket anyway. It's all one big corporate fascistic stew. But let's disregard all of that and let's make the debate about who should be entrusted with all the data about everywhere you are going at all times of every day, and only for the duration of the crisis, right? Because they will never, ever again use this fear of some sort of new contagion to flip the switch back on and to re-enable all of the controls that they are putting in right now, right? Oh, of course, that is exactly what is going to happen. Powers that are taken by the government, as we should all know by now, will never be relinquished. They will never give up on this complete and total surveillance of every person in the population at all times once it has been put in their hands. And you would be an absolute naive simpleton who fell off a turnip truck yesterday if you believe that to be the case. So, that being established, yes, I will direct you to that full video of the Clinton Global Initiative University combating the COVID-19 crisis, which has a lot of nuggets embedded in it. But I will specifically point you to contact tracing with the Clintons, which is an example of just those, some of the...
Just imagine Chelsea Clinton, this dummy, this certified moron, according to Tucker Carlson. Please go to her Twitter page and see. This is a certified moron. This idiot that neither looks like Bill Clinton nor Hillary. We know who the real father is. I don't want to just cause unnecessary problems in this video. For the sake of argument, let's say the only child of Bill and Hillary Clinton, even though we know they have a black son, they don't want to mention. I will show you the guy, Danny Williams Clinton. A child birthed for Bill Clinton by a black woman he was having sex with. Slick Willie. That's where the nickname came from. Slick Willie. Monica Lewinsky is just that was an Israeli operation to keep him in line. He did what they wanted him to do. Now the case just died like that. Monica Lewinsky, did you hear any other thing about that after Clinton started going to war? To the wars they are sending him to. Bastards.
The choicest nuggets about contact tracing that are embedded in that longer 4-hour video. This is a 7-minute video that was put together by Corbett Report member Camille at Please Stop the Ride. I hope people will check out that video and just get a sense. I mean, I don't think you have to be particularly conspiratorial to be creeped out by the things that people are saying in this and the incentives that Clinton and others are openly saying should be in place. So we should be creating an army of contact tracers, and this will be a great boon for employment. We can employ lots of people to snoop on the movements and activities of every other person in their country, and it'll be great. And all of this, I cannot see how you...
Those of you that go to report posts you don't agree with, even my friends, if you are doing that thing, you see the only thing I report when I see people post nudes, because kids are watching, the kids are on social media. That's the only thing I report. But in terms of you said this, I disagree with that. No. You see how you are helping put yourself into bondage. Atheists are snitching on Christians. Christians are snitching on traditional religious African religious people. African religious are snitching on the conscious people. Some conscious people are snitching on the atheists. Do you see how they put you all in a group and use you to fight each other? This is what the ruling class of every generation does. Same old system. The same old system. We are the ones killing ourselves. We are the ones killing each other.
We would not process that as some sort of creepy thing. But again, they're trying to market it to you with this new term, contact tracing, that you don't have any baggage associated with. So here's my suggestion. Just as one humble suggestion is one thing that you can be doing to truly actively counteract this propaganda, which is to reject it outright. I call on people out there who are listening to this and who are equally creeped out by the total surveillance state that is being put in place. I call on you to never, ever use that phrase again. Do not refer to
words have power. When we tell you that words have power, no, it's not because when you say, I want to die, death will come to you. No. When you are using the word contact tracing, you are not sending the right signal to the brain, because what the ear hears, the brain process. And believe me, majority of the people in the world are asleep. So when you use that contact tracing, this is why these atheists are good in repeating what they heard on the media. Repeating nonsense buzzwords and talking points. Because they are shallow. I'm not knocking atheism. No. I'm just telling you how you've been programmed. Why am I singling them out? They are the worst. Ask yourself why they are not banning you. You post something, they will not take it down. Another person who doesn't equivocate that nonsense will post it, they will ban the person. Why? They want everybody to be like this. That's why they promote them. That's why they promote them on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, everything. Words have power, and that power is the message is sent into your head. When you are using contact tracing, a lot of people would not even know what that means, and they are too lazy to do their research. When you are talking about a spy system, when people hear spy, they'll be like, oh, now they are watching us. That, come on, they've been watching you since forever. They've been watching you before you were born. That was why you were given a birth certificate, to keep track on you. Go and check where the birth certificate of your country is registered. Okay? Okay? Watch when he will replay the video. Now he switched the words. That way, I want you to, maybe it will make sense to lots of people who are not into all this conspiratorial lane. Meanwhile, those are the people who've been right over and over and over again, and are going to be right tomorrow. Let's go.
To this as contact tracing. Just refuse it. And I haven't put a great deal of thought into this. I'm sure there are greater marketing minds out there than mine that can come up with a better idea. But I think, why not use something that we all can understand as creepy Orwellian total police state surveillance grid? Why don't we call it, say, instead of contact tracing, why not call it Big Brother surveillance or something along those lines? Or just say Big Brother. Just refuse to say contact tracing and just replace it with Big Brother. So, for example, if we were to re-engineer the contact tracing conversations that the Clinton Global Initiative is hosting with more accurate language inserted, it might sound something like this.
We need
Big Brother.
Agents in the hundreds and hundreds of people, right? You take the test and then you
Big Brother.
Back all the contacts. It's never been done on this scale before. This is an army of
Big Brothers.
So basically investigators.
But we need a national core of healthy people who are properly trained to go out and do this.
Big Brother.
We need the bodies.
And it seemed to us as though no sort of systematic or concerted efforts around
Big Brother
were taking place in Massachusetts. So
Massachusetts has recently announced that they're going to try to build a statewide
Big Brother
program, and they've asked partners in health to run it for them. And they're one of my partners in the work we've done in Africa, Haiti, and other places. But where are we going to get all these
Big Brothers?
Should we have, like you did with California did with the Conservation Corps of young people? Should we have a
Big Brother
corps, even if we call it something more elegant?
See what I'm saying? Do you see how that can kind of change the inflection of what's being said and the way it is being said? Do you understand how that might make a difference? Anyway, I think it's a seemingly small change, but it actually means a lot to refuse the language as it is coming into place, because exactly as we saw with the War of Terror, for example, which they insisted on calling the War on Terror, well, by changing the terminology that they give us to talk about such things, we can counteract the narratives that they're they're saying. So refuse to say weapons of mass destruction, say weapons of mass distraction or whatever it is, which sounds like just a pithy, silly thing to say. But no, you are consciously choosing to reject the language that they are using to try to sell to the public, to try to make people just turn off their mind and go with this new word that's being introduced in a certain context, to make them think about those words. And I'm not saying go out and start preaching and evangelizing to people. No, you must stop saying this. No, just you personally refuse to use the word contact tracing. And anytime it ever comes up in any conversation with anyone you have, just insert Big Brother or whatever phrase you think is more appropriate, and just do it. Just don't even think about it. Don't even make a big deal about it. Just do it. Just refuse to use that terminology. That is honestly, that is something that will go some way towards propagandizing the term that they are trying to introduce to the public, which is total panopticonic Big Brother surveillance. Now, on a more practical level, yes, to the extent that people can, for example, stop carrying the slave device around in their pockets and stop taking it with them everywhere they go. That absolutely should be done right now. 100%. People should be spreading awareness that, yes, you do not necessarily need your slave device with you at all times, tracking everywhere you go. Because regardless of what they're calling it and what they're saying about, oh, you'll have to sign, don't worry, it's all voluntary. You'll voluntarily download this app. We all know that is cockamamie nonsense, and we know that you are being tracked and databased and surveilled in all sorts of different ways at all times of day and night. But the base level of what I'm saying here today is that please be actively, consciously aware of the language that is being used to introduce this new concept, this old concept in a new bottle, new wine, old wine for new bottles for old wine, whatever that phrase is. You get the point. It is something that we already understand in one context as being horrible, and we are being asked to accept it as wonderful in this other context because it's been given a new name and a new twist. Refuse to go along with that twist. That is important to maintaining your cognitive freedom, which is the base level of any freedom that we may or may not have. And so I will put that out there. And if there are greater marketing minds than mine out there in the audience, you suggest your own term. Personally, I don't think, again, like everything else, it should be decentralized, and I don't think we're all going to agree on one term that everyone has to use for this. But at any rate, just refuse to say contact tracing. Just refuse it outright. And I think that is an important step. And not just contact tracing. I hope you understand this is a general point about propaganda in general. They try to introduce terminology into our lives. They try to insert the words by which we can describe certain phenomena, and that in some way structures our reality. An exceptionally profound and important point, but exceptionally simple when you break it down to contact tracing. No, that's Big Brother. Anyway, that's the thought for the day. I hope it is a useful one. As always, I'm going to be here day in, day out, busting out information.
Please go subscribe to his YouTube channel. Please, guys, subscribe to his YouTube channel. You see other works, Corbett Reports. See his YouTube channel here. He is the guy with the best video on the Federal Reserve till date. James Corbett. In fact, those videos, they deleted them. They've been deleting them and he has been uploading them. Watch his videos. These are his videos. Are you watching it? Go there, Corbett Report. Turn off that nonsense CNN Hello, brothers and sisters. I don't know what happened. I really don't know what's happened. Can you hear me, guys? Are you still here? Oh, maybe I have to end this. Let me end the stream. It's okay. If you're still there, thanks for being a part of the broadcast. I think I have to end this. I think there's virus on my system. Please, I'll have to. Oh, man. Come on. This is too. Please, let me clean my system up first. So bad.